Hello everyone, it's Mystic with the first episode of Mind Sear. In this episode we're going to talk about World of Warcraft's daily quests, as suggested by my Gilly Dob. Let's talk about why daily quests are good. They're good because they give max level players something to do. I know whenever I first hit max level back in Wrath, I turned to my friend and said, what do I do now? He said, let's go do dailies. And we did dailies. I quite enjoy doing dailies with him. Something we could do to pass the time, sit there on vent, and just BS while we were doing the same quests. Another reason they are good is they give players a way to make gold. Yeah, you can go back and do the quests you missed or you skipped, but if you want a little more of a challenge, daily quests are the way to go. Plus they also give you reputation with certain factions. Reputation that's later needed to get gear and enchants and sometimes mounts. They're another way to get your valor points instead of just running heroics. Sometimes you don't have that much time to run a heroic or jump into a LFR, so you do some daily quests and you get the valor to get that piece of gear that you need to help your team progress in the raid or to make you just better to do other dailies or other stuff in the world. They can also give you reputation with certain factions. This way you don't have to go out and kill the same mobs over and over and over again. Yes, you're still killing those same mobs, however, after you kill so many of them, you go back, you hand in the quest, and you get valor and gold, plus reputation. It's a win. So now, why are dailies bad? There's quite a few reasons. One of them is gating raiding gear behind certain reputations. Yes, they removed the daily cap in Mist of Pandaria. However, you got people who don't want to do dailies but want to raid. And you have the best in slot raiding gear locked behind exalted reputation with a certain faction. Whenever you only have, say, 4 dailies with them, it's going to take a while to get to that level of reputation to get that gear. Another one is gating patterns for professions. It really sucks to have the current best in slot item being a pattern you have to get exalted with a certain faction to have. That's not fun, once again, to the people who don't like doing dailies but prefer to raid or whatnot. Same with the enchants. Don't like to do dailies but have to do those dailies. You get that enchant to make my character better to help my team progress through certain bosses. And the one I can't stand is phasing. Phasing is a wonderful tool if used correctly. I remember back in the ICC days where if you had to go summon someone at the summoning stone, but the person who followed you wasn't on the same line of the quest you were, you couldn't see each other. You had to go to the other summoning stone up by the new 5-mans they added with Wrath to get your players there if you didn't have a warlock. And phasing the zone where if you want to play with a friend who hasn't done as much as you have, you now can't play with each other because you don't see each other. Now, I did say a lot about reputation with different factions. That's because dailies are the main way to get reputation with most of the factions in Mist of Pandaria. So it wouldn't be very fair if I just named all these bad points and said, well, there's a show, have fun. I want to give ideas on how to correct some of these issues. Now, these may not be brand new ideas, but they're just what I've been thinking about since MOP started and since the whole daily fiasco happened where everyone was complaining about doing all the dailies that were out there every single day, being burned out on dailies. Well, the first one is stop putting raid gear on factions that you have to do daily quests for. If you feel you have to, make them at a lower reputation requirement. Now, if we remove the raid gear altogether, why should Blizzard keep making dailies? Well, why don't we put a transmog set on them? You reach exalted, you can buy this gear, you can transmog. That's all it does. It gives you no advantage in the game if you get it, and gives you no disadvantage if you don't get it. Just a cool looking set that you can get from going from 0 to exalted with this faction. Have it be a armor set that players can't get but an NPC has, something like that. Professions, I would prefer to do a epic quest line to get my blacksmithing patterns, my tailoring patterns, my enchanting patterns, something that shows I worked hard to get this. Now, if we remove the profession patterns from the vendors for factions, why have them? Well, just like the transmog gear on the other factions I suggested. What about making patterns that players can make a transmog set? And the same with enchanting. Instead of giving you plus 15 to all stats, it makes your sword glow fire. Or if you heal somebody, something special effect happens when you heal, and when you crit, some special effect happens when you crit. It doesn't have to be enhancing your character's strength, but make it look pretty. That's the best way I can describe it. The only pattern I'm okay with being stuck behind needing to be exalted is the bigger bag patterns. They're not really game breaking, they're not really game enhancing, and even though I suggested an epic quest line to get your patterns, what kind of quest line could you do for, oh look, I get to carry a bigger bag now, yay. And then we have phasing. It's a wonderful tool to change the environment without changing the entire zone and spoiling stuff for players who haven't done the quest yet. The problem is, if you have a friend who hasn't done that quest, they can't play with you. And I don't know about you, but I prefer to play with friends. So how do we fix this? Well, the tech's already out there now. We got garrisons coming up in the next expansion, where if I'm the leader of the party, we go to the garrison, it's going to be my garrison. You can look around my garrison. If you're the leader of the party, you go to the garrison, it's going to be yours. Look around yours. So why don't we use that in the phasing for dailies? Say I'm with a friend who isn't as far along as I am. We downgrade me to where he's at, and we do the quest together. This way we don't spoil anything for that player. This can also be used to promote community. Go, hey, I'm doing this quest. Someone goes, I'm past that, but I'll come help you. And give a small reward to the player who is already advanced past that, but is willing to come down to that level and help. Overall, I am a huge fan of dailies, because at the start of the expansion, I'm one of those players who burns to the max level. I do this because I enjoy seeing how fast it takes me to get to the max level. I never got server first, however it's still fun for me to push. Now when I reach max level, my friends are still leveling, so dailies give me something to do while I wait for them to get to the same level. I don't like doing heroics right off the bat without friends, because looking for dungeon tool is very unforgiving if you don't know exactly what's going on. But that's a topic for another video. I will always have very fond memories of doing dailies with friends who I still play with, and some who have moved on. The removal of the daily cap on the quest was a wonderful thing and a horrible thing. It meant I can go back and do daily quests to get a mount, but it also made you feel like you had to do every single max level daily or you were doing it wrong. Well, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. You can reach me on Twitter at Mystic_1105. And until next time, take it easy.